Welcome, history fanatics, to Mrs. Heron's video playlist, where you will get the best of the best in social studies.
Alright, we are still in Unit 5, Southwest Asia, North Africa. Our essential question is, how did civilizations develop in Southwest Asia and North Africa? And our standards are 7.1.3 and 7.2.1. Your goal today is to summarize how the agricultural revolution led to an advanced city-state. So you have to be able to tell me, what was the agricultural revolution?
Once upon a time, there lived a king named Sargon II. He was a mean and vicious king, despised by all he ruled. In 714 BC, he was determined to snuff out all who challenged him. Two kingdoms, Urartu and Zakirtu, joined together to defeat the mighty King Sargon. But alas, they were no match against the Assyrian army. All of their forces died, leaving only the Urartu king fleeing away in terror. The legend of King Sargon only lived on through those he let survive. The end. You should remember from the last two videos that any civilization built next to a large body of water has the greatest chance of survival. The two empires from today's lesson became rich and powerful because they had control of three major bodies of water: the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, and the Persian Gulf. Look at the map. What other two bodies of water are they built on? The Tigris and Euphrates. That totals 5 water sources for these early civilizations. This also makes trade easier, which in turn increases their revenue. It's a pretty sweet deal for them. The two empires that controlled this area were the Babylonian and Assyrian empires. What's an empire, you ask? It's where multiple territories are controlled by a single government. Ooh, Mrs. Heron, you mean like the Empire from Star Wars? No, like the British Empire or the Roman Empire. We'll get to those later. At the heart of the Babylonian Empire was the city of Babylon. The Babylonian Empire was strongest between 1800 and 1600 BC. By 1300 BC, there was a new kid on the block, the Assyrians. 700 years later, they were the baddest empire around. The Babylonians and Assyrians were somewhat like a Sour Patch Kid. They were mean and brutal in war, but instilled culture and learning in their cities. This dude, Hammurabi, was the Babylonian king. He built his empire when he united the cities of Sumer. The empire's main city, Babylon, was a popular stop for trade for caravans of travelers. Merchants would exchange goods from all over Asia in the bazaar or the marketplace. Babylon quickly became a wealthy city from its spoils of war and rich economy from trade. In 1760, Babylon had reached its pinnacle by conquering all of its neighboring cities, including Mari. Hammurabi's army seized all of the weapons and loot from his rival and destroyed their 300-room palace. By 1600 BC, the Babylonian reign was over when the Assyrian Empire flexed their warrior muscles and took its throne. Assyrian soldiers had a lot of practice in battles because enemies were constantly attacking them. Their location didn't help, as their capital, Nineveh, was right on the Tigris River. Eventually, they chose to attack others before they could be attacked. They invented some of the most advanced weaponry of the day, like this battery ram and these armed charioteers. By 650 BC, this strategy paid off immensely as they grew to become the most powerful empire in all of the land. The Assyrian Empire flourished and the citizens benefited from its insurmountable wealth. The capital city, Nineveh, saw many of these benefits firsthand, such as a huge library with thousands of tablets. No, not those kind of tablets. These kind, clay tablets. They held some of the earliest works of literature, including the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest surviving epic ever. It's these tablets that allow historians to know so much about ancient Mesopotamia. In 612 BC, the Assyrian regime fell when two rivals, the Medes and the Chaldeans, teamed up to defeat the empire. This conquest allowed for the resurrection of the new Babylonian Empire under the rule of Nebuchadnezzar II. He rebuilt Babylon using massive walls and ornate tiles. He had beautiful landscaping and ensured his palace was the grandest of them all. It's possible he did all of this in tribute to his beloved wife. The New Babylonian Empire made huge advances in science by charting the stars, mapping the known world, and raising bees. This empire was short-lived, however, and fell in 539 BC. To review, we discussed empires, the Babylonian Empire, including King Hammurabi and Babylon, the Assyrian Empire, including Nineveh, war tactics, and conquests, and the New Babylonian Empire, including Nebuchadnezzar. Remember that the red words indicate a vocab word. We had empire, caravan, and bazaar. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.